What is happening, ladies and battlers? Trainer Rem here, coming at you with another tournament recap video. Now for this video we're going to be talking about my first comeback tournament after a month-long break from Silph Arena, my local community's Toxic Cup tournament that took place Sunday, March 7th. This tournament was actually the first out of two that we're hosting this month. This one was just basically a practice tournament, and it definitely helped me grasp a better idea of what the Toxic Cup meta is like. I figured I was going to see some basic picks like Toxicroak, Golbat, Steelix, B-Barrel, and Wormadam, and I did see quite a few of those in a lot of the teams, but there were also some very interesting picks as well, like Shiftry and Heracross and such like that. So very interesting meta. I do appreciate it. I do like it a lot, and I actually ended up winning this practice tournament. I didn't weight it, of course, but look at that trophy. Look at that trophy. So about my team, it took me a while to figure out what I actually wanted to run for this tournament. I kind of didn't like running Toxicroak. A couple of my friends kind of agreed because Toxicroak in some situations feels like a liability with how squishy it can be, even though it is a very solid fighting type and counter user for this cup. Some people use Heracross because of counter close combat, and other people use the best counter user, in my opinion, is Escavalier. Escavalier is just, is it Escavalier? Escavalier? I don't know. But it's very solid because it has a bunch of resistances and it can beat down the steel types pretty easily while not taking a lot of damage. So in my opinion, Escavalier is pretty good as a counter user, but I don't have an Escavalier built, and I have Toxicroak, but it just felt like every time I used it, people knew exactly what to do against it. So I decided to drop it, and a friend of mine actually introduced me a team that I thought was really interesting and really good and had a lot of coverage. So let me go ahead and tell you about that right now. So what was my team for the Toxic Cup tournament? My team consisted of Golbat, Exeggutor, Steelix, Flygon, Wormadam, and B-Barrel. One huge advantage for my team was that there was no fighting type for my opponent to comfortably use their fighting type counters on. Toxicroak and Heracross, they're good fighting types, but they are very squishy and sometimes can even be a huge liability. And Escavalier, I didn't have one built, so that wasn't even an option for me. In my opinion, Steelix, Flygon, and B-Barrel can get the job of the counter users done well and can still hit most things in this cup for super effective or neutral damage, so that's pretty solid as well. Some of the downfalls of this team included the flying type counters, Drapion with Ice Fang, and Steelix. Drapion with Ice Fang can take out Golbat, it can take out Exeggutor, it can hit Steelix pretty hard, it can body Flygon, and my only true counters and soft counters basically are Wormadam and B-Barrel. Steelix can beat this team pretty hard as well. It beats Golbat with Crunch, it can take out Exeggutor with Crunch. I'm gonna have to, for the Steelix mirror matchup, I'm gonna have to try and bait and hopefully win that. If it catches Flygon in an energy lead or with the lead matchup, then it can beat it. But Flygon can sort of counter Steelix if I'm able to bait and maybe land 2 Earth Powers. Wormadam it can take out with Crunch and Earthquake, and then B-Barrel is my only true counter. Some other Pokemon I would struggle with include Wigglytuff and Escavalier. Escavalier wouldn't do that much against my team. That's the reason that I built Flygon, is because Escavalier gave me so much trouble and I hate it. So I built Flygon and it did really well against it. And then Golbat can also take out Escavalier as well, but Steelix can if you land an Earthquake, but that counter damage does so much, and if a Drill Run hits you, then that's pretty much GG's right there. As for Wigglytuff, not much of a problem there. I have 3 solid counters for it. I have Golbat, Wormadam, and Steelix. That's why they're all there. And then Exeggutor, if it lands a Seed Bomb or a Psychic, it'll do a lot of damage because both are stab. Both can do a lot of damage to Wigglytuff because it is squishy, but it will take a lot of damage from that charm. And then also B-Barrel will as well. But like I said, Wigglytuff is squishy, so if Surf or Hyper Fang hits it, then it'll do a lot of damage. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the tournament matches. So my first opponent for this tournament was Honored Genius 42, who was running Golbat, Steelix, Drapion, Toxicroak, Wormadam, and B-Barrel. And my first thought was straight Drapion. He's gonna run Drapion, so I have to watch out for that. And my entire goal for this round was just to get rid of Drapion whenever I saw it. So that was basically it. So let's go ahead and get into the first battle. So in this first battle, I start off with B-Barrel, Flygon, and Wormadam. So like I predicted, Drapion in the lead. So perfect lead here. Beat Barrel is not going to take any super effective damage or even neutral damage from Ice Fang and Aqua Tail, but he switches into Golbat pretty quickly there, and I was able to catch the Poison Fang on my Wormadam. So definitely not doing any super effective damage there, just doing not very effective damage with Poison Fang, and I didn't feel like he charged up enough for a Shadow Ball here, so it's on the Poison Fang, and I was able to get my Wormadam up to 1445 here. Don't judge me, I don't have a lot of resources, so it still got the job done. So it's another Poison Fang. I have a lot of energy stored up on my Wormadam, and whatever comes back in next, I'm just gonna go ahead and probably throw an Iron Head first, but I go straight for the Bug Buzz because he does bring back in the Drapion. So I missed a couple bubbles there, but that's okay. So he's gonna hit me with an Aqua Tail, so I do shield it up here. It would be doing neutral damage, and I have another Bug Buzz ready. I'm gonna throw that off. Missed one bubble, but that's okay because we get the excellent, and look at that damage. Crazy amount of neutral damage there. And the confusions are enough to take out that Drapion. So Drapion is down, and his last Pokemon is B-Barrel. So I'm gonna see if he shields this up, and if he does, I'm in the clear because my B-Barrel is safe, but he doesn't shield. So it's pretty low on health now. So I'm gonna get the Surf off and just gonna see if I can water gun it down. His shields are down, and I'm gonna shield up no matter what. It could be a Hyper Fang, so I shield up, and it is Surf. But that's okay. That's okay because it's very low on health, and my Flygon is still in the back and is safe. So I'm gonna get off one last Surf. Only a great, but that's fine because B-Barrel is down, and that's GG's for match 1. Coming into match 2, I had the exact same team, just changed up the lead. I put Wormadam in front this time, and it is another Drapion lead. And it's just going to be doing not very effective damage with the Ice Fangs, but with the Aqua Tail, it'll be neutral damage. But I go ahead and not shield this Aqua Tail, and I go ahead and use the Iron Head because I want to see if I can get a shield or do some solid damage. And I was thinking maybe he has Golbat back there, so I swapped out. And I put in B-Barrel, so then hopefully I could just tank another Aqua Tail, but unfortunately, it is a crunch. So it does a lot of damage, and then he swaps out and brings in Toxicroak, and I'm like, okay, this isn't too, this isn't too bad. I get the Surf, and he uses his last shield, and I'm like, okay, maybe I have this in the bag, depending on what he has in the back. So I decide to bring in Flygon to farm it down for energy because Dragon Claws can get off just like that, and if it decides to bring back in Drapion, I can just Earth Power it. And I shielded that Sludge Bomb because even though it wouldn't be very effective, it'd still do a lot of damage. So I get off a Dragon Claw, and then it survives 1 HP, but I bring back in Wormadam to farm it down for more energy. And then in the back, he brings out B-Barrel. So I'm like, okay, so I have a shield. If I can get off a Bug Buzz and then hopefully farm it down with Mudshot, maybe 1 Dragon Claw. Maybe I can just it'll just be enough to win this. So he doesn't use any charge moves. He farms my Wormadam down, and okay, so I'm like, maybe I can still do this. So he uses the first Surf, I shield it, and then it's so close, but he gets the second Surf, and that is going to be a lot of damage since water is neutral to Flygon, and that is GG's for match 2. Coming into the final match, I used B-Barrel, Steelix, and Wormadam, and we are in a B-Barrel lead mirror match. And I remember specifically, in this moment, he said, a mirror matchup? No, and just switched out right there. And I'm like, this isn't a bad matchup for me. But I was debating whether or not to use a Surf there, see if I could get a shield, but that's going to come in handy later. So that energy that I gained on B-Barrel is going to come in handy later. So I do shield that first charge move, and I'm going to build up some energy. It's probably going to be an Aqua Tail, so I decided not to shield it because I don't want to use all my shields right here. It is an Aqua Tail. So I build up more energy, and I'm going to see if I can get a shield here, or if he's going to let Drapion go down. And then he brings in Toxicroak. Very interesting switch in. I think he just wanted to get rid of it because he didn't want to deal with the B-Barrel versus Wormadam mirror matchup, or not mirror matchup, just the matchup in general. So my Wormadam is down, and I'm like, I want to keep my B-Barrel safe. So I know he's only got energy for 1 Mud Bomb, and it's not going to kill Steelix. And I know I can farm it down to get up to a Crunch and burn at least one of the shields. So I get off that Crunch, see if we can burn one of those shields. And we do. And I quickly bring back in my B-Barrel so we can't farm down my Steelix, and I go for the Surf. Is he going to shield it? Yes, we do get that shield. So I'm gonna shield up here because what else can I do? Hopefully it's not a bait, and it wasn't. It was Hyper Fang. So if I hadn't shielded that, then I would have been screwed. But luckily I was able to call it, and we're gonna hit that Hyper Fang. It's gonna do a lot of damage, and then he's gonna have enough energy for one more Hyper Fang. He gets off a charge attack. Is it gonna be close? It's gonna be super close. It is a Surf, so we are in the clear, and then it's gonna be GG's for match 3 of round 1. Very well played. Very well played. Coming into round 2, I went up against my friend Jay Thielen, who was running Wormadam, Escavalier, Crustle, Steelix, Gliscor, and B-Barrel. So I noticed right off the bat that his team was a bit weak to water and ground. So I brought B-Barrel for all these matches, and I did a little bit of variation between Flygon and Steelix. So I went Flygon, Steelix, Flygon. So let's go ahead and see how these matches went. Coming into match 1 of round 2, I'm using Golbat, Flygon, and B-Barrel, and we are in the lead matchup with B-Barrel. So this is not a bad matchup. Golbat can do a decent amount of damage with Poison Fang and Wing Attack alone. So does a decent amount of damage right there. So I'm gonna build up some more energy. He's gonna get off a charge move. I do burn one of my shields here because I do want to see if I can win the lead, see if I can keep that switch advantage. So I get off another Poison Fang, and then it's so close. It's so close. And I'm wondering, I'm like, can I survive this? I don't want to burn another shield, so I'm going to see if I can survive this one Surf. And I don't. So, unfortunately, he won the lead. So I'm going to bring in my Flygon because his B-Barrel was his one true counter to my Flygon. So he brings in his Crustle. So I'm going to get off a Dragon Claw here, see if I can get a shield or see how much damage it can do. Do burn that first shield, and I want to keep my Flygon for later, so I switch into B-Barrel, which is a perfect counter for Crustle. So I'm not going to shield this. And then he's going to use another charge move, and I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't want to burn a shield, and it was Rock Slide. So, too much damage there. So, I get off that Surf, and the Crustle is down. But in the back, he has Gliscor, and Gliscor can do a lot of damage with Wing Attack and Night Slash because Flygon is very squishy. So, however, Dragon Claw can do some damage as you saw there, but unfortunately Wing Attack is very fast and Flygon, like I said, very squishy. So I'm going to build up some more energy, and it's going to be close. He still has a shield, but I get that Dragon Claw, get the Excellent. He's going to get off another charge move, and I have nothing that will be strong enough to take out Gliscor in the end, so it's not going to be enough. And I was hoping, you know what, like maybe I should just go for the Earth Power just for the heck of it. See what happens, and because Gliscor is part flying type, not very effective. So the GG's for match 1. Coming into match 2, I had B-Barrel, Steelix, and Golbat, and he leads with Wormadam. Not a bad lead at all. So we're going to be doing neutral damage with the Water Gun and Surf. So I'm going to build up a lot of energy. I'm going to use that first Surf, see if I can get a shield or see if I can do a lot of damage. And he does not shield it, and we do a decent amount of damage with that Surf. So he's building up a lot of energy. Maybe he's going to try and bait me, but regardless, I still shield because Confusion can do a lot of damage alone. And I want B-Barrel to last as long as possible. So I'm going to use another Surf, and he does shield up. So I bring in my Golbat to farm it down for energy. Not a really good idea, not something you really want to do, but I just wanted to farm it down. So it's going to be very close, but he switches out into Crustle, and that Shadow Ball is going to be doing a lot of damage if it hits. So we get the Excellent, and it lands, and look how much damage that did. There are a lot of things in this cup that are very, very soft. So I'm not going to shield up. He's going to use a Rock Slide. That was a lot of energy that he used. He probably didn't have to use that because Golbat probably wouldn't have survived an X-Scissor. So I farmed down the Crustle, and he brings in his own B-Barrel. So I'm hoping that this Hyper Fang can hit. I'm hoping and praying, and it does. So it's very low on HP now. I have Steelix in the back, but I'm going to save my shield because I know I can take it down with just Dragon Tail. So B-Barrel is down, Steelix comes out, but that Water Gun is doing a lot of damage, so I got to watch out for that. So, do shield it up here because Surf would take me out regardless, just do a lot of damage, and the B-Barrel goes down. Now Wormadam comes back down, or comes back in with very, very little health. So just a crunch can knock it out, and I have a lot of energy stored up. and I'm able to get out the last crunch. That's GG's for match 2. Very well played. Very close. Coming into the final match, I used Flygon, B-Barrel, and Golbat. And the entire time I was wondering where his Esavalier was, finally. And we're in a really good matchup here. So, because Flygon beats Esavalier, but I switch in my B-Barrel against his Crustle, and I expected a Rock Slide to come out because I knew he wanted to do as much damage as possible. I predicted correctly, shielded correctly, so we're going to see if we can farm it down, but I'm going to use a Surf first, see if I can get a shield. We do get a shield, so he's probably going to hit me with another Rock Slide, but it won't be enough to take out my B-Barrel, so I'm not going to shield it. It is another Rock Slide, but it's going to be kind of close, and the Crustle is down, so I'm going to see if I can hit the Esavalier with a Surf, see if he shields it, see how much damage it does. That is a lot of damage from one Surf, so wow. But let's see what he has in the back. So I'm gonna get off this Dragon Claw, see if he shields it or not, and he does shield it. He switches out into Gliscor, which is why I brought Golbat, because Golbat, just one Shadow Ball can do so much damage, but I farm up the energy, so it's because I know he switched out Escavalier, so I'm trying to build up to an Earth Power or just a Dragon Claw to take it out when it comes back in. Because he has a lot of energy stored up on that Escavalier as well. So I'm not going to shield anything from this Gliscor. I'm very close to a Shadow Ball. Go ahead and get it off, and the Gliscor will go down. And I'm expecting him to use an Aerial Ace on my Golbat, because Wing Attack can just take it down. He won't be able to farm Golbat down with counter. So he uses Aerial Ace, Aerial Ace. And then I get off the Dragon Claw, and since he is shieldless, that is GG's. Coming into round 3, I was battling my buddy Sean, who had Steelix, B-Barrel, Shiftry, Heracross, Wormadam, and Golbat. So very interesting team with Shiftry, which I hadn't seen yet in the Toxic Cup, but I heard it can be very good, and Heracross as well. So my entire thought process was he's gonna bring Heracross, so I gotta watch out for that. I don't think I brought Flygon here at all, because I was too worried about Shiftry and Heracross, because that would just be a lot of damage. So let's go ahead and get to the first match. Coming into the first match, I brought Steelix, Wormadam, and Golbat. He leads with B-Barrel, so very bad lead matchup here. I switch in immediately to my Wormadam, which was going to serve as my safe switch in this scenario anyway. And then he brings in his Steelix, which is a pretty decent counter to Wormadam, like I said before. So I'm just going to go ahead, let these crunches hit me. I'm going to get off Bug Buzz, because it actually does a lot more damage to Steelix than one would think. Even though not very effective, still a decent amount of damage. So he's going to see if he can farm me down a bit. I'm going to get off another Bug Buzz. We go for that Excellent, we get the Excellent, and not very effective, but Steelix is getting very low on health right now. And we still both have both shields. So then he uses the Crunch, he's going to farm me down. I'm going to see if I can get to one more charge attack, and I cannot. So he has a lot of energy stored up right now. So I was wondering, is he going to try and hit me with an Earthquake, or is he going to bait? I didn't shield, it was a bait. And I'm like, this has to be another Crunch. There's no way it can be an Earthquake. So I was right, another Crunch. So he brings in Heracross, and that's why I brought Golbat. Whew, because I figured no matter what, he was going to bring Heracross. So Steelix switched out. I wanted to save my Golbat. Close combat wouldn't have done a lot of damage, but I still wanted to save it because of B-Barrel. So I think I do have a Crunch built up on Steelix right now. So if I can get rid of maybe 2 of these shields, then I'll be solid. So he burns his first shield. I get off another Poison Fang. See if he burns his second shield. He does not burn the second shield. So I believe I shield this up, because no matter what, Steelix is in the back and I don't want it to die that fast. So I'm going to get off a Poison Fang. And then my plan here is to switch back in Steelix and get off the Crunch, see if I can take it out right then. And I was able to. So I was pretty sure right there that he had a Surf ready. I'm pretty sure we CMP tie here. Yep, that was a CMP tie. So my Steelix will take the Surf, but Wing Attack should be enough to take down B-Barrel at this point. So very GG's. That was very, oh, no. We had Steelix in the back. I forgot about Steelix. I forgot about Steelix back then too. So it was very close. But GG's. Coming into match 2, I had Wormadam, Steelix, and Golbat. So we'll see if we get the lead here. And we do. He leads with Heracross. A great matchup for us. So he quickly switches out into B-Barrel, which I have my my Golbat for as a safe switch. So he gets off a Surf here, but I believe I do double shield in this matchup because I don't want his B-Barrel to be able to switch out or get against any of my other Pokemon. So I'm going to get off that Poison Fang, see if we can get that first shield, but we don't. So then I'm going to build to another Poison Fang, see if he shields that. We get that excellent. And then I'm going to shield up again because I do not want that B-Barrel to win this matchup. So it is a Surf. Going to see if he can get to another one. He probably can at this point, so I get off another Poison Fang. Hopefully he won't shield it. And the B-Barrel is down, so my Steelix is safe. So let's see what else he brings back in. And he brings in Steelix, and now I'm like, ooh, can I get to a Shadow Ball? He sacrificial swapped his Heracross in. That was very smart. But unfortunately he won't be able to make it to a close combat because it's too low in HP. So now I'm going to try and get off a Bug Buzz and do as much damage as I can. And then hopefully I can come in with Steelix and just do straight crunches. But he is farming me down quite a bit for a lot of energy. So he is expecting to try an Earthquake, anything that I have in the back. So I'm getting pretty nervous at this point. And the Steelix is low on health now. So I'm like, okay, so if my switch timer is back up by now, I should be able to see if I can sack swap, but unfortunately, it's not. It's so close. It's very close to being filled back up, but he is able to get off another Earthquake. Steelix is now in the red. I'm building up energy. See if I can get off 2 crunches, see if I can sacrificial swap, and watch this. I get the crunch. I know we see MP tied. And he told me that he had the crunch right there and he used it, but for some reason it didn't register as an attack use, so that's fine. GG's for match 2. Coming into the final match, I had B-Barrel, Wormadam, and Golbat. So I lead with B-Barrel, he leads with B-Barrel as well, so we're going to see if we can get this mirror match. But I'm like, you know what, I know he has Steelix in the back, so I don't want him to get rid of my B-Barrel. So I switch in Wormadam and there's the Steelix. So I'm thinking at this point, maybe I can farm it down with B-Barrel. So I get off the Bug Buzz. Not very effective. Man, this matchup is very slow because both steel types, I'm resisting the Dragon Tail, but not the Crunch. So it does do a good amount of damage there as well. So he does get off a double Crunch, so he's planning to farm me down at this point. And I'm going to get off another Bug Buzz. I'm going to see if I can get his shield or not. We'll just see what happens. He does not shield it, but does a lot of damage. So I swap back in my B-Barrel, and then I'm expecting an Earthquake here. So I believe I do shield it here, and it was an Earthquake, so that was very close. So I do farm down the Steelix. And then I can't remember what he brings back in here. Go for the Hyper Fang, and it is Heracross. So we are in a very, very good position here. So he's going to try and farm me down. So I'm going to see if I can burn that shield. And we'll see what happens. And we burn both shields. So we're in very, very good position here. And remember, my Wormadam is still there. It's very low, but it's still there. And I sacrificial swapped. And he looked at me, he said, "You didn't have to do that." But we're able to farm down the Heracross, and now we have energy to take down the B-Barrel. So he gets off a Hyper Fang. He used up a lot of energy there. So I get off a Poison Fang, and we're looking pretty good here. But remember, he still has his Heracross in the bag. So not much of a worry though. So I'm gonna get off a Surf. I'm low on HP, but I have the Poison Fang. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna farm it down. And luckily it was just enough to farm down the B-Barrel. That could have messed me up if I hadn't done that. If I hadn't gone straight with Poison Fang, that could have messed me up. But luckily, I was able to get another Poison Fang ready. And that's GG's for match 3. So, at this point, we've made it, the final round. And I didn't even expect to make it this far. Like, I made the team that day, so I expected to make a video saying how not to do Toxic Cup. Now, in the final round, I went up against my friend Carissa, who was running Crustle, Golbat, Steelix, B-Barrel, Toxicroak, and Shadow Executor. It was a very interesting pick, and I was worried about that the most because I know how much damage that Shadow Pokemon can do, and you know, it's brand new for the Silph Arena, so it's just kind of interesting. And basically I just made sure to guard my team against Executor almost no matter what. But before we get into the first round, I have to say that my phone went down to 5% during, or like mid third battle, so it cut off the recording. I'm not gonna show it, but I'm good. Spoiler alert, I did win the third battle with Wormadam, B-Barrel, and Flygon against Toxicroak, Executor, and Steelix. So let's go ahead and get into the first match. Coming into the first match, I had an inkling that she was going to bring her Crustle in the lead, and luckily I predicted correctly, so we do have a great lead matchup here. And I expected her to switch out pretty soon here. She did not, and I believe this is just going to be a bait. Yep, it is an X-Scissor, but also I want to point out that I'm pretty confident against her team because I don't have anything except for Golbat and Flygon that are somewhat weak to Executor. So the thing was that I didn't have a fighter, so I was confident with that. So she goes for another X-Scissor, and I expected to switch there, and it's about no switch, but it is going to be another X-Scissor, and it's not going to take out B-Barrel. It's going to be very close, but I do farm down the Crustle, and we win the lead matchup. And I'm trying to see what she brings in next, and it is Shadow Executor. So we are in a very good position here. So I forgot to say I brought B-Barrel, Wormadam, and Golbat. So we are pretty much set here. But watch the damage that Executor can do. So the Confusion is doing so much damage. Wow, that is crazy. But it takes a lot of damage as well. So she landed the Psychic, and she switched out quickly into Steelix, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. But she used all her shields. So she's kind of in a bad position here. So she uses the Crunch, as per expected. So we're going to farm up some more energy. I'm going to shield the next Crunch so I can get off 2 Shadow Balls. And luckily, since Executor has such a high attack, Golbat will die so fast. That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible, but it'll faint so fast that I won't have time to farm up much energy in order to do any more damage to my Wormadam. So I get off another Shadow Ball. Steelix is down. Golbat is down, and then I have the Bug Buzz ready. That is going to be GG's for match 1. Perfect plays. Just great. Coming into the second match, I actually ran Executor, Wormadam, and Steelix. So let's go ahead and see what we have in the lead matchup. It's an Executor mirror matchup, so neither of us knew how this would turn out, but I expected that she would do more damage to me than I would to her. But look at the confusion damage, it's almost equal. So I get off a Seed Bomb, so I just want to do as much damage as possible. But then I think we actually swap at the same time here, and we do, and she swaps into Steelix. Perfect switch, perfect counter, but she did burn one of her shields. So I get off a Bug Buzz, and it's gonna be another slow one. But like I said, we're in a good position with shields, and we do have Executor in the back as well. So then, depending on what she has in the back, Steelix can also do some work. So I'm hoping that she doesn't have Toxicroak in the back. So I'm gonna get off a Bug Buzz, and then we get the Excellent, and then not very effective, but it's like I said before, it's very low on health, so you're gonna farm me down for energy, but she doesn't keep farming me down. She actually uses another Crunch, which used up a lot of her energy. So I'm gonna bring in my Steelix, and I was wondering, I was like, this has to be another Crunch, right? This has to be a Crunch. I haven't burned my shields yet, but look, Earthquake, and I was like, how did she? Anyway, so I'm gonna see if I can farm her down, and we do. So then, I want to see what she brings in here, and I'm expecting a counter, and it is B-Barrel. So I'm glad I got off that charge move, saved the HP, got off the Earthquake, and then B-Barrel is down before it can get any charge moves off, because the stab from Executor's Confusion just does so much damage. It's so good. So I burned her last shield. She's gonna farm me down. But look, watch this. I have 2 shields. My Steelix is very low, but I have a near crunch ready. She has enough for 2 seed bombs, but I have 2 shields. So the chances of this happening are so crazy. So I was able to get off a crunch before my Steelix fainted. Very close match, but very GG's. Oh yeah, I'm coming back, baby.
I'm coming back, baby.
Alright guys, that's it for the tournament recap. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And by the way, I'll be in Chicago for the Midwest Cup thing. You know what I'm talking about, the Toxic Cup of the Midwest, you know, best of the Midwest. I'll see you there. Alright, later guys.